And now, your host and MC, he is a favorite here at the Loony Bin. Please give it up for C.R. Parsons.
How are we doing, Tulsa Loony Bin? It is Saturday night. How many people are already drunk? How many people are already breaking those New Year's resolutions for being drunk? You are here on a great night. We have got a great lineup for you. I've been working with these guys all week. They are wonderful. Big hand for Matt Golightly. And your headliner, Mark Rubin. Give him a big hand. It's going to be fun. I am your host and MC, C.R. Parsons. I want to clarify something right up front here, though. Yes, this is my real voice. I know, I look like a biker and I sound like a freaking Muppet. I do not always sound like this. Occasionally I wake up with this voice. Woke up with that the other day, turned to my wife, I went, "Good morning, babe." Yeah, she reached back, patted me and said, "My husband's home this week, you probably ought to go." She is the quick wit in the family. It drives me a little bit nuts. We were texting the other day. Who else has trouble with autocorrect on their phone? Yeah. She said, "What sounds good for lunch?" I responded, "How about Lebanese?" That's not what she got. She got, "How about lesbian?" She said, "Sure, sushi sounds fine." I love my wife dearly. We have cute little nicknames for each other. She calls me the big guy. I call her Karma. She gets mad at me because I second guess I second guess all of her decisions. I know she makes bad decisions. She married me. I like to pick on my wife a little bit, though. She comes from a sheltered household. Here's how sheltered. Our boys played sports. They played football. They named the teams after colors. You had the red team, the blue team, the black team. Our boys played for the white team. My wife thought it would be a good idea to put on their t-shirts, "White Power." Ah, crap. Why don't we just call them the Mighty Whiteys? Maybe get them sponsored by Kevin's Krispy Kreme. And I have to tell you, my wife is not racist. She's clueless, but not racist. I'm glad to be here at the Loony Bin. I love doing comedy clubs. I've been playing a lot of bar shows recently, and bar shows are very different. I had to physically remove a heckler from a bar show that would not shut up. Yeah, he looked at me and he goes, "I think I can take you. You look like a puss." Like, holy crap, when was the last time he saw one? The 70s? I think they're all clean shaven now. I love to travel. Just got back from New Orleans. I love any town where a nickel's worth of beads will get you closer to second base than dinner and a movie will here. I made a mistake, though. I went to New Orleans with my wife and my mother. Never do that. There's nothing worse than walking down Bourbon Street with your mother, showing off her boobs for beads by lifting up her skirt. I know that's very not right. A son should never see that. I didn't know she owned tassel loafers until that very moment. I'm getting older. New Year's always reminds me that I'm getting a year older, and at my age, that is no fun. I turned 44 not too long ago, and let me tell you, young guys, 44 is not a good age if you're a guy, because you can no longer pick up girls half your age. They can now buy their own beer. I realized I was getting older. I enrolled my youngest son in college. Yeah, my youngest son is in college. It has changed since I was there. I was flipping through his catalog. I saw a seminar in there called G-Spot and the Female Orgasm. They did not have that class when I was in school. I was trying to figure out why it wasn't under mythology. I met one of the girls who lives down the hall from me. He lives in a co-ed dorm. Guys and girls in college living together. They didn't have that when I was there either. She's a sweet girl. She's a lesbian, but she's also deaf. Can't hear a thing, but she can read lips like nobody's business. I will tell you something about getting older that they do not tell you, especially you younger guys. They do not tell you that gravity is not your friend. Ladies, you know this from an early age, that these are going to become these. They don't tell you the same thing happens to us guys, only it's a little further south. Nobody warned me one of these days I was going to have to wear board shorts to keep from freeballing. Ding dong. Aren't you glad you sat on the front row? Is this your wife? Wife? Well, I'm so sorry I now have her thinking about my junk. But since everybody now is, let me clarify, no, the carpet does not match the drapes. It's all hardwood down there. At least 3 out of 4 hours, because you know if you reach that 4th hour, you're supposed to call a doctor. Side effects. I do not do comedy for a living. I get up and do this occasionally. Unlike the rest of the comics who do this for a living, I still have a day job. I'm an attorney. I sense doubt. I know the long hair and the tattoos throws everybody off, but that's because I'm also a dyed-in-the-wool Harley rider. Which means whether I'm at the biker bar or at the golf course, I'm probably going to have to kick my ass out. I don't want my type around there. I come by this confusion naturally, though. I come from a screwed-up household. Here's how screwed up. My mother was college educated, had a master's degree. My father was a redneck. We were the only trailer in the park with a lending library. We learned how to pair our wine with our ramen noodles. Did you know Boone's Farm goes with all the flavors? Being an attorney, I get asked my opinion on legal matters quite often. Most recently, of course, is whether I think weed ought to be legalized here like it is out in Colorado. Yeah. Was that one of the comedians in back going, yeah? I have to tell you guys, always, before you yell something like that in a comedy club, check. Do we have any officers here tonight? It's bad to learn that the wrong direction. No, I don't know that I should get a vote, because I do stand-up comedy. Can you imagine if clubs had a 2-bowl minimum instead of a 2-drink minimum? I'd never have to write another joke, just stand up here and throw goldfish and M&Ms. Y'all would be with me all night. Another one I get asked about is they keep passing laws to allow women to breastfeed publicly in all these different states. Let me tell you guys, there is nothing more natural than a woman breastfeeding. Only thing I can figure is it's other women that have problems with it. Because you know any guy looking at that's going, I'll have what he's having. But make it a double. My sister-in-law has figured out how to take that to a whole new level, though. She has figured out how to breastfeed her son while he is in his car seat. I mean, they're both in the back seat. It's not long, at least not yet. It worked great until my brother had to hit the brakes once. All I heard from the back seat was, poor girl got niplash. No, the thing about getting older is I understand that life is short, and I understand this because I have had 3 strokes in my life. Let me tell you, those are no fun. If you have not had one, don't bother. Half of your body just quits working. For me, it was my right half. I had my first stroke while riding my Harley. Yeah, you know where your brakes are on a Harley? They're all on one side. I was screwed. I was more screwed than an emo girl in high school. I was was more screwed than a tube sock at Comic-Con. That hit a little bit close to home, sir. I was more screwed than an altar boy with a pretty mouth. I mean, I was screwed. But that's not the worst. The worst was my second stroke. I had my second stroke while riding my wife. Again, I'm sorry you're sitting on the front row for this. You know, they say if you think somebody's having a stroke, have them stick out their tongue. If they are, it'll turn off to one side. Same thing happens to the hog. It was like, who am I kidding? I'm a white man. It was more like, eep. I looked down at my wife, I went, babe, I can't get off. She looked up at me and she said, neither can I with you making faces. That's my time. I'm C.R. Parsons. Thank you guys very much. Let me get a few quick announcements.